This story is difficult to recall in full. Little bits of it I do remember, but there are gaps. I do still remember this being one of the most frightening things that I have ever witnessed. My family and I lived in a small, 2-bedroom apartment in Jeonju. Our apartment was built in the suburb of Palbokdong. It is a very industrial area. We live there because it is very cheap to live in that place. When I was turning 7 years old, my family had a birthday party to celebrate my age. It was a fun day. Every one of my friends came to visit me, and we all had cake, and I was able to open lots of gifts. The happy memories are gone after this though, because that is when I start to see the mysterious guest. I thought she was a parent of my friends at first, standing there in the back wearing sunglasses. I think to myself, it's very, very strange that this woman is wearing sunglasses inside our apartment. Later that night, when all my friends have left to go back to their homes, she is still there, out in the common yard area that I can see from my bedroom window. Still, she is wearing those dark sunglasses and staring up at my window. I tell my parents about this. They lock all the doors and they tell me there is no woman. There was no woman like that at the party. They look out my window as I point to where I just saw the woman standing, but there is nothing. This would not be the last time I see her. Later at night, very late now, I open my eyes as I realize I am thirsty and I need to go to the kitchen to get myself a drink of water. This is when I see that woman again. Not out the window, not in the common yard area, but standing right in front of me in my room, bending over the foot of my bed. Her face is very close to mine, and I see that those sunglasses are not glasses. They are holes. Holes where eyes should be. This woman reaches out for me, and I scream for my parents. This seems to scare her as she runs and hides inside my bedroom closet. My parents run to me through my door. They yell and shout a lot, asking me what is wrong. I point, and I yell to them that a woman tries to get me, to take me. I keep pointing at my bedroom closet, and my father runs there and opens it. That woman, with no eyes, stares back at him. She just crouches there in the closet, staring at us. My parents are screaming now too. We all run to my little brother's room to get him, and we run to our car, and we drive very fast away from that apartment. We did not return to that place, only to send for our things. We moved far away to a new suburb, and now, all these years later, I live far away from Jeonju. Many people tell me that I imagined that night, that nothing ever happened. But I won't ever forget that fear that I felt that night. I don't know what that woman is. Maybe she is Tongbin Nanua Yuta. It is known here as the Hollow-Eyed Woman. Maybe she is just a crazy woman. But how did she see? With no eyes. My friends and I like to hike. A trail we frequently visit and occasionally camp at is the Buckley Loop in the Jirisan National Park. This trail is very expansive and can be difficult for inexperienced hikers to find their way. It should not be undertaken by those with little or no experience, as if you go there without knowing your way, you will most certainly become lost. My friends and I plan to go on the trail on the coming weekend after work. We had all finished our work week come Friday and we packed up our friend's car, ready to drive out to Jirisan. We are all in very high spirits on the drive to the park. We are all very passionate about the outdoors and look forward to any opportunity to get outside in the fresh air. On the way, my friend remarks that the storm clouds are looking very dark, and we hope it will be okay for our weekend. We arrive at the entrance to the park, and we make our way to where we always camp, and we proceed to set up our tents. We will start our hiking tomorrow morning. Early in the morning, we wake and we begin cooking our breakfast. We laugh and joke around together before gathering our things into our packs and starting off on the trail. This is where my scary story will begin. It began during our hiking on this day. We would hear things. Not normal sounds of the outdoors, but strange sounds. Sometimes almost like a chittering laughing noise from just beyond the tree lines. It began most innocent, but over time became louder, more intrusive. This continues all the while up the trail. At times, the noises and strange sounds become quiet. At times, they become so loud it feels almost like people are whispering to our ears. It is very strange. As we're setting up our camp for the night, we're all feeling very unsettled. But it still is best to remain here for the night. Even if we are to leave now, it would take us all day to reach the base, and then we still need to return to our car. So we all go to our tents for the night, and we try our best to sleep. We will start our hike back down tomorrow, as these experiences, they have become too much for us. I would have only hoped that this would be the end of those. The next thing that happened is why I have never been back to that trail. Why my friends never go back there also. It was very late at night when I wake to the sound. This sound is different than any sound I've ever heard before. Different again to the chittering laughing. This time, it's almost like a fluctuating laugh, but mixed with crying. Like a high-pitched child laughing, then into a deep voice crying. I was scared, laying in my tent, because this sound, it was not alone. It was accompanied by footsteps. Footsteps that began far off, but moving undoubtedly closer to my tent. Walking around our campsite. This was very real and very dangerous now, I think to myself. This is not just noises anymore that can be passed off as anything. There is someone very real who at this time sounds utterly deranged, walking around our camp. The footsteps continue, slowly now. The leaves crunching under this person's feet. And this person sounds as though they are barefoot. It is then I see the zipper inside my tent begin to move, side to side, up and down. They're trying to come in. I know this. I grab the zipper and I hold it. I hold it as tight as I can to stop it from opening. Whoever is out there is pulling hard, very hard now. And I hear something terrible. A low, almost growling voice mutters from outside, "Let me in." It is very quiet. I'm crying now. I'm terrified. The voice comes again. "Let me in." And I cannot contain my fear. I fall to the mattress in my tent, burying my face to the pillow and just praying that this thing will just go away. It is then that the person stops trying to open the zipper. I think this is over, but even 5 seconds later, I hear the most frightening thing I've ever heard in my life as this person kicks my tent and screams at me. I grab again at the zipper and I hold it so tight that it cuts into my hand. I'm cowering inside now, my face in my pillow and holding the sleeping bag over me, begging that this person will just leave me alone. Whatever or whoever might be up there, maybe hears my prayer. Because this person now, I hear them walking away from my tent. I am shaking uncontrollably now and crying. I have never felt this scared in my life. I lay there at my tent all night until I can see the sun is coming up. I'm still not entirely assured of getting out of my tent, but I must if we are to leave this place. Slowly, I unzip my tent and I climb out. At first, I feel a great relief at the sight of my friends standing at our campsite. But that is only until I see their faces. They are staring up, and they are visibly very, very scared, almost paralyzed. I follow their gaze, and I wish I did not. Sitting there, up high in the tree, is a disgusting childlike figure. It is dressed in rags, and it is smiling at us, with what I can only say is pure evil in its eyes. It crouches on the branch where it sits, and it smiles down upon us. I notice that it holds in its hand a very large knife, and I do not want to know what it wants to do with that knife. Then, suddenly, it leaps down to us, screaming that horrible scream from the night before. We did not bother to grab our things. We only ran very fast from that campsite, down towards the base. As fast as we run, still we hear sounds around us, everywhere, and all at once. We finally make it to the bottom, and we get in our car, and we never, ever go back to that cursed place. Still, we don't know. What was that? There's no way a kid will be out on that trail. Ghost? Demon? Something else? We don't know. But what we do know is how very lucky we are. 2 weeks later, there are news reports of a brutal murder on that trail. 2 hikers ripped apart in an apparent knife attack. No suspect ever found. Have you ever stayed at a hotel where you just feel uneasy? This was my experience recently. I still have no genuine explanation for this, and it is something that has caused me to go to therapy. because I still don't know if what I heard was in my head or in reality. I'm a businessman living in Seoul. I travel frequently for my job, and because we had business outside of Seoul, in another city, I was staying at a hotel in Wonju. It had been a very tiring day for me, and I was preparing to get into the bed. As I'm making for myself a cup of tea, I hear a faint scratching sound. This does not unsettle me as much as it just frustrates me. I must wake up early in the morning, and I will not be able to sleep with this annoying scratching sound. But I wait, and I just hope that it will stop. As I'm drinking my tea, I notice that this scratching sound continues, starting and stopping and then again and again. It's getting very unpleasant now, so I get up and I put my ear to the wall where it sounds like it's coming from. But I realize it's not coming from another room. It is coming out of the closet in my own room. I feel a bit scared now, as I do not know what this could be. Perhaps rodents. I decide that I will leave this door closed, as I don't want to open it and let something out if it is rats. Thankfully, after some time, the scratching noise does stop, and I'm able to get a good night's sleep. The following day, I go about my business as usual. I will be here in the city for another 2 nights. I have meetings this day and other things to get done, and after this I return again to the hotel. I plan on stopping by the front desk to ask them about what could possibly be that scratching sound. I do not get to ask them this question though, as I'm stopped at the door by police officers. The officers ask me if I'm staying at this hotel and ask me my room number. When I tell them, I am frightened as they turn me around and put me in handcuffs. I don't understand what's happening, and I'm taken to a group of detectives who asked me a lot of questions. The officer who put me in the handcuffs goes to the desk to ask something before returning to me and unlocking my handcuffs, explaining to his colleagues that I'm not who they are looking for. They then explain to me something that will still haunt me into the end of my life. They explain to me that a woman was found in my hotel room today, tied up in the closet, deceased. A million terrible thoughts run through my head. The scratching sound I heard from the closet. She was alive? If I had just opened the closet, might I have saved her life? These thoughts were ended after the detectives proceeded to explain. They say to me, "We are not suspecting you, as you only checked into this hotel yesterday. This woman has been dead for at least a week."